Good morning. Let me start by asking for your patience, as I am very limited in what I'll be able to discuss today. As you can imagine, there's been a tremendous amount of work done by investigators in this case, which culminated with Nathan Gervais being deported to Canada by the Vietnamese government. There will come a time when I will be in a position to give you additional details regarding this case. However, I am restricted in scope as to what I can say at this time. I will commit to giving you additional details when the time is right and we are confident it won't interfere with the ongoing court proceedings. For now, this is what I can tell you. We learned that in November 2017, Nathan Gervais was in custody of Vietnamese authorities. It is not our place to comment on the reasons or circumstances surrounding Nathan's arrest in another country by another law enforcement agency. In January, we were advised by the Ministry of Public Security in Vietnam that Gervais was to be deported back to Canada. And at their request, the Calgary Police Service assisted with Gervais' escort from Hanoi, Vietnam. Detectives from the homicide unit were granted access to Vietnam and subsequently accompanied Gervais back to Canada, where he was arrested upon his first entry into Canada, which was at Toronto's Pearson International Airport. Gervais was taken into custody by members of the Peel Regional Police and was held until his return to Calgary last night. We would like to extend our thanks to the Alberta Sheriff's Branch, who facilitated that transfer. Gervais had a bail hearing last night where he was denied bail. He was scheduled to appear in court this morning at 9 a.m. As we previously mentioned, our thanks go out to the Ministry of Public Security of Vietnam, the RCMP, who were instrumental in assisting with this investigation, Interpol, Japanese authorities, Canada Border Services Agency, and the Peel Regional Police. This outcome took the coordination and cooperation of law enforcement agencies across multiple jurisdictions. I also want to take this moment to thank the members of the homicide unit who have worked tirelessly for the last 5 years in this case. From the moment Lucas Strasser-Hird was senselessly killed in downtown Calgary, you have been tenacious in your pursuit of justice for his family. Let this serve as notice to those who are out on bail and flee the jurisdiction. We will persist in finding you and bringing you back to face the charges. Law enforcement across the globe continue to work together to bring those who abscond from justice back to the countries from where they ran, even if it takes years to do so. We'd also like to thank the media and the public. It's critical when crimes like this occur, crimes that are so offensive to the community, that we receive tips and information to assist with investigations and making arrests. Now I'll try to answer some of the questions you may have, but again, I am very limited in the scope.
Can you say if there will be an investigation and possible charges against anyone who may have helped Gervais leave and evade capture for so long?
Well, it's understandable in a situation like this that there is going to be an investigation, and at this time I cannot comment because these matters are still before the court.
But you can confirm there will be an investigation by Calgary Police?
Anytime there's a situation like this, there is an investigation, no matter what. And we're going to want to find out details that we don't know right now.
Can you say though that are you confident that can you say if he acted completely on his own in fleeing, or do you suspect that he was aided?
No, we can't say that he was aided by somebody at this time.
And so just to be clear, so November 2017,
yeah,
was that when you found out that he was arrested in Vietnam? Was that when did CPS first learn about his whereabouts, basically, in Vietnam? Can you say that?
Like I said before, we can't comment on another country's investigation or another agency's arrest. So we can confirm that we were notified that he was in their custody in November of 2017.
So it's possible that he could have been arrested previous to November of 2017. We just don't know.
I would say no, he wasn't arrested previous
Okay.
to November of 2017.
I think we were trying to find out, did police know prior to November that he was in Vietnam?
Again, this investigation is before the courts. There are details that we cannot release at this time. Obviously, it's before the courts, so to respect the court process, we cannot provide you with details.
Can you say anything about his path from Calgary to where he ended up getting arrested?
No, we can't.
But can you say if that was the first you knew about him being in Vietnam?
Again, this matter is still before the courts, so we cannot talk about Vietnam's investigation or Vietnam's arrest.
Has there been any indication while he was in Vietnam how he was living? I mean, where he was living?
No, we don't have those details at this time.
Where in Vietnam was he? Where in Vietnam was it notified that he was when police first found out?
Again, that's for the Vietnamese authorities to comment. We do not, even if a case was in Edmonton, we would not comment on their arrest or their investigation. It's not our place to do so.
I mean, Vietnam's a big country. I mean, we don't know a province, a city where he was when you were notified. Yes, he is here. We have him in our custody.
Well, yeah.
Can you state by the mics?
We know those, we know, we were given information as to where he was arrested in Vietnam. Again, to respect the Vietnamese authorities, we cannot comment on their investigation or their arrest.
So if you take Vietnamese officials totally out of this and take their arrest out of this, what I think we want to know is how long did police know that he was in Vietnam for?
Again, the matter's before the courts, so we can't discuss those details at this time.
So, okay, so not commenting on the Vietnamese investigation whatsoever.
Right.
Can you say that in 2016, when he fled,
Mhm.
Do you believe that Vietnam was the first place that he went to? Is it possible that he went to somewhere else before Vietnam?
Again, the matter's before the courts, Lucas, so I really can't provide you with any further details. Unfortunately, I understand it's frustrating for you, but when there's a time and place for me to be able to provide you with further details or somebody else within the service, we will do that.
Can you say, are people being interviewed at this time to try to piece together if someone did help him?
Again, that's...
Can you just say what is happening behind the scenes? Like what, without giving away details that would be revealed in court, just what kind
No,
of investigation is happening?
I can't, unfortunately.
Like, are people being interviewed?
Nancy, I can't provide you with those type of details.
Since there is a Vietnam investigation going on,
Mhm.
can you perhaps elaborate a little bit more on what the challenge is logistically? Because now he's obviously here,
Yep.
and he's in custody
Right.
for the first-degree murder trial with regards to Mr. Strasser-Hird. How's it going to work with whatever has to go on in Vietnam in terms of those two investigations going on at the same time? Or are they going on at the same time?
Well, again, I can't comment on anything to do with the Vietnamese investigation or how it links in. Obviously, we were invited to attend Vietnam to help facilitate his deportation back to Canada.
Was it a surprise to Calgary police when they received the call or contact from the police?
Well, of course, we were very glad that he was arrested abroad.
What can you say about his condition now? I mean, is he in good health as far as we know? I mean,
He appears to be in good health for all we know.
Cool. Hard to say. Is it being cooperative?
Well, he was cooperative in the fact that we had no issues with the deportation from Hanoi all the way to Toronto.
Are you able to say why he went to Toronto before Calgary, like why he was stayed there?
That was
for-
all logistics.
Yeah, can you just explain that? Is that an area you can explore?
Well, it's part of the process with respect to deporting somebody back from another country. We had to, obviously, there are no direct flights from Vietnam back to Canada, so there are a lot of challenges that go into, having the deportation and the transport back to Canada be smooth, because you have to stop in another country.
Colin, can you say when he first fled? Did you guys have any leads at that time or in the first coming weeks? If you had any leads of where he could be?
Again, it's before the courts. I'm not going to comment on the investigation
So
in relation to
last
that.
night, was that a token bail hearing? Like that was just his right to have a bail hearing, or was he trying to get bail last night?
Well, like anytime somebody's arrested on a warrant, you go before a justice of the peace. They make a determination whether you're held, and in this case, the justice of the peace denied him bail and put him over to court this morning.
Can you speak to the cooperation that CPS received from international agencies like Interpol? How did that communication lines go?
Well, it was great cooperation from everybody involved, everybody that I named here, from the Vietnamese Ministry of Public Security to Interpol, to the Japanese authorities, to Peel Regional Police, to CBSA, Canada Border Services Agency. Everybody worked together really well.
How were the Japanese authorities involved?
The Japanese authorities were involved because it was a layover in the deportation back to Canada.
Is this the first time somebody's been brought back to Canada like this? We heard that there was significance from Vietnam to Canada in this kind of cooperation.
Again, I can't speak to specifics regarding that. I don't know the answer to that question.
Colin, can you maybe speak just from your own experience with the force anecdotally? I mean, in terms of the, without getting into the specifics, but
Yep.
just in terms of kind of the bizarre nature and the route. I mean, where does this stack up for you personally in terms of seeing a situation like this? It seems very, very unique.
Oh, absolutely. This is like nothing else in my 28 years of policing that I've ever come across. Like the work by our investigators, the work, the cooperation between agencies was just absolutely tremendous.
Where do we go from here? Do we know when he's expected back in courts? Just stuff like that. What happens next?
Well, he had a court appearance this morning, so he would likely have another court appearance next week. Which day? Unfortunately, I can't. I didn't receive that information right before the availability here, but he will have another court appearance next week, and if not next week, for sure the week after.
And what new charges is he facing? Obviously first-degree murder, but what new charges have been laid against him?
There are all charges in relation to him not showing up for his initial trial in April of 2016.
Have you had an opportunity to speak to the family and their reaction to this?
Yes, the family is, Lucas's family is very thankful for all the work that our investigators put into this, and that he's back to face justice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks.